Well, I'm taking advantage of the good fortune of having a tag filled and plant some chestnut trees on the farm today. But I thought I'd take a minute just before we started the story on this just to explain a little bit of an audio situation. I didn't find out until after I'd actually shot my buck that my shotgun microphone actually was plugged into the wrong port. So I've had that trouble in the past and kind of hard to hear me. So I would advise wearing earbuds if you can throughout some of this, but I'll do my best on the editing side to try to increase that. But bear with me there, I apologize. It's devastating because some of the vocalizations, I may cut in and voice over just describing some of it, but it was incredible, some of the vocalizations that were caught this year through this stint. But as I break into this, kind of when I first found out about this deer as what I believe was a 3-year-old in 2022, he was real aggressive and just at that point kind of like that teenager, just roaming all around, hitting the scrapes. And I feel that's key. That's kind of bringing the younger bucks up on this, and they kind of learn how to use them. He was just that. He didn't look like anything special. I could tell he had some neat character points, but he was just your basic 8-point frame. But you just never know with some of those. And so jumping into 2023, where I felt like he was 4.5, he made a pretty good jump and transformed from that 8 frame into a 9, but had a couple stickers there and got some awesome trail cam pics of him. But he was starting to kind of show that 4-year-old, not quite as visible, more nomadic a little bit in his core, but more strategic as well. But then as we transitioned into this year, that's where he got his nickname. It was kind of the typical summer scrape prep, got into all that, was going through the motions there and started to pick him up. And actually, where they're just keeping tabs on those doe bedding areas, and got a couple videos of him on the scrapes and kind of around those. And then we transitioned into kind of my favorite time of year as we get into September and October and getting those scrapes worked a little bit more. Kind of pick him up there, but I knew kind of the window that I really needed to focus, and he was my target. Once I decided to target him, he was kind of just briefly checking in, had that kind of rotation. It started to kind of transition in more of a 4 or 5 day rotation. So it was in his core, but not in the heart of it. But I just knew when I needed to strike based on prior history, some of those kind of dates that really he showed. So that's what I was keying on, and weather kind of played a big part in it this year. It was warmer, but we also had finally got some rains in there. So that was much needed, but it also kind of threw a little bit of a damper into my plans. But still, it worked out where basically broke off in those key dates that I really like. Kind of took this year, the main window was really going to be 5 through 12. Those dates in there have been good to me in the past, and then some of those later as they're seeking out those last does can be good as well. But thought I'd bring that to you real quick, and we'll dive into the main story here. Here it is, mid-August, and as you know, I like to pull a bunch of oak limbs this time of year, and a lot of them sooner, but get some that actually kind of get in the way of my driveway here, so they get hit by taller vehicles and stuff, and they like to kind of droop down. So these pin oaks work pretty well. I'm gonna grab this one here with the silky, get some rubber gloves here and take those and relocate them. I've got a few spots in mind today. It's in the 70s. Got to take advantage of this weather and kind of get in, get out, and get those kind of established anyway. And then we'll work on different range throughout the year to go in and treat them and put the buck fever to them. All right, this is a scrape I created this summer. It's ripped up. Got the lower branch knocked off. I'm just adding some buck fever. Got the forehead gland. Now I'm going in. We're going to transition from the pre and post into the rut here once we get mid-October-ish on. That's kind of when I start. All right, just got a real windy day. I got the truck running behind me. Pulled up to a couple of scrapes and got them, but this one I needed to add a limb. I brought another oak limb in. You can see a hedge underneath it got ripped up. I basically just getting ready to doctor this branch up after I got it attached here by zip ties. Sometimes these pop up in the season. That's what I'm doing. I'm adding another one in here. I've got several down this line, but this one you could tell they tried to work and broke that off pretty good. November 2nd. Normally I'd be pretty upset about not hunting, but had a good friend we're having a little bit of a fundraiser for, smoke some pork, so I'm out here getting ready to shoot the bow here. Got some good rain, getting a really good soaker rain, which we needed. It's been super dry, so it's going to help for entrances and exits, so can't complain about that. But anyway, trying to stay scent free after smelling like a bunch of pork butts. Just kind of what you gotta deal with a little bit, but kind of staying charged up, ready for the rut here coming up, and hopefully gonna turn that into some good long sits and hit it when the timing's right. I think we're just gonna be ramping up as soon as this breaks. We got probably some good rain again through the night into tomorrow. I may try to slip out for the first evening, kind of a sit for the rut sit anyway. But I think it's going to be good. It's the morning of November 5th, and kind of a soupy, dreary morning, nice and cool. Got a solid west wind. I've slipped into a spot here that this is the wind that I need. Kind of wait for it. It's kind of rare, it seems like, as far as a straight west. Well, it's about noon, and it's been a pretty action-packed morning so far, but just has that feel to it, like they're going to be slipping around, and this wind's perfect. This is the wind I need and why I save it, so I think I'm going to probably end up sitting this one in through the rest of the afternoon as long as that wind holds up. So just based on that, we just got to see the older age class start moving, but there's a big rub over here on my left I just happened to pick out. Trying to take a quick breather and get a bite to eat. I got my, what I call rut wraps there. Took that away from my elk hunting. One of my favorite snacks out there. It's kind of a bacon, peanut butter, and honey type wrap. They're filling and works good to pack them in. They're pretty light. Anyway, hopefully the movement picks up, kind of keeps up, and gets some more bucks, just keep on growing. So we'll see. Alright, wind's calmed down a bit. That's awesome with that owl. She's really talking. They had a couple different coyotes just running all over, so another pair of does basically just to the right. They worked on into the cover, but I thought I heard some chasing, but it could have been them coyotes. And we're getting pretty calm now, but I still got a good west, so it's still pretty wet, so it's going to be hard to hear. But I'll try to sit it out as long as that wind holds. If it starts blowing, I might get out of here a touch early, but I hate to do that, but I don't want the thermals to go the wrong way. While the coyotes had things stirred up, I decided to get down and freshen up the mock scrape. I changed out the trail camera card only to find that I was a day late. It's the morning of November 6th. This is the start of the days that I really think are key. Made a decision this morning that may haunt me. I don't know, we'll see. But the buck I'm after was actually in there the day before yesterday. I hunted all day yesterday for him. Saw quite a bit of action, but
fact that this morning we've got a calm wind, but it's actually more out of the east. It's just a bad wind for that spot. As much as I want to be in there, I just decided not to. I'm in a spot not super far, and he's so irregular over there that I decided not to push it, but he also could very easily end up over here. Out in kind of a big cedar thicket between two kind of real big bedding areas coming off of a cut cornfield. So they've already been slipping through. It was kind of a fiasco getting in here just because it's so calm and just foggy, but I slipped in quiet and had a little buck right under me. I mean, I was going to set my camera arm up and I just happened to hear something. He was working a scrape. I've got a mock scrape right here that it's been freshly worked, hopefully before him or something bigger, but a couple does already slipped by. Should be a good day. I've got stuff to stay all day, and this easterly wind in the bottom of this I think is going to be perfect. So I think regardless I'm going to try morning and evening here because I know this is where they seek out these does. One thing is for sure, and there's nothing certain. The only thing about the rut is uncertainty. I was not expecting this, but I've got a Traco. I hear guys talking on. It's a ways off on some neighboring ground, but did not anticipate that at all, especially with the muddy conditions. But with that, I guess it doesn't matter. But they're knocking trees down. So, but the biggest problem is they're outside, and I can hear them talking, and the wind is directly out of the east, which was perfect for me here. But it's blowing their scent right up on the top of this ridge, and I did when they first pulled in. I could hear the beeping on it, and not long after a doe was blowing up there. So it wasn't because of me. I've got a perfect downdraft here. I can't waste sits, and so I was debating making a bold move anyway, and I think I'm gonna do something a little bit crazy. AKA stupid, and go home and get the saddle. I'm going to bust in. I've got a spot in mind, actually. It's kind of off on the fringe, but where I need to be hunting that buck, I got the picture of on the forward. I think I can put myself in a transition zone up on the west side of that with this east wind. I've got a tree. I've had it there for years. I just never have hunted it, but I've always looked at it. It's a spot where if he does get on a chase or get on a doe, he could easily slip by there. So I think it's a higher odds. I know I've got a shooter there. I'm not 100% sure right here, even though I've got a camera down here. I'm going to check the card. I may check it at the truck. If there's something being crazy consistent, I might slip back in, but that's too much mentally for me to bear on that noise in there, scent blowing in here. Making a bold move. Going into the Dragon Slayer, I made a kind of a last second call. Let him get back to bed. I'm going to slip in. It's going to be flirting, but I'm hunting really high here.
It's 11:30. I'm kind of trying to process what just happened. I'm trying to do a little rut reset. I'm going to run home real quick, shower, and get all my stuff washed. I took a gamble just now, and this wind was just going to be east for like the next 2 to 3 days, and it's actually 3 days. So today was kind of the one flirting type wind I could have got away with. And actually, if I'd have gotten in, I would have. But it's 3/4 away in. Either jumped him or he was up chasing a doe. Saw him on the other side of a draw, running hard behind a doe. Got a good look at him with binos, no video. But that's the side where he went. I cannot get away with that if he came down through the draw that way. I was trying to gamble and just catch him between bedding, maybe coming from the east, and he was there. Just a matter of not getting in clean. So luckily it was kind of 11 o'clock type bump, walking, away from where I'm set. So I think I'll be good. Just got to play it safe. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go hunt a spot with an east, but get it set up for maybe an all day tomorrow.
All right, here we are. Made it back out, November 6th. Evening set here. I've got a nice strong east wind. Matter of fact, these east winds are killing me. It's doesn't play very well for where I wanted to go. I was headed into a spot to kind of push the limits on a buck that I'm pretty sure he's 5. There's a chance he's 6, but he made a big jump. I decided to come into a different spot and I'll push my luck on that because, if he makes it, great. But got a buck in here that's ancient, not much on his head, but he's a buck I'd probably shoot. Set up, I've got a scrape line here that hasn't been hit. Really, it doesn't look too worked, at least since that last rain. But east wind here bringing more rain in, so took the e-bike in, so it was awesome. I took a loop kind of where I wouldn't normally go, avoided everything. There's kind of a nice ridge here, a bedding ridge, and I'm expecting deer to come filtering through here, and then possibly this big CRP I can call to anything up here, so should be a good evening. About that for some cruising action. That's a cool cat. Hopefully they keep getting bigger. That's a pretty mature deer, I think. He's just not much on his head. Good mass though. It's the morning of November 7th. It's got a little chill to it right now, but it was pretty calm when I got in. Rode the e-bike in, borrowing that from my buddy. That thing's incredible. Basically today I'm running out of east wind setups. Got a little bit of north with it today, which is a change, but we've had 3 days of consistent east because we got some rain coming, which is fine, but we've got our good rains ahead of this, which was a blessing. I was excited. I'm learning this year I need more east wind setup. A few years back we had nothing but west and changed that, but I'm sitting in a kind of a higher odds setup today. It's just might be slower action type of day, but it's a connector. It's a big long connector, brushy fence line. I love edges and intersections, and I don't hunt this enough like this, but actually looking at this scrape, I've got a mock scrape hanger I made, a couple years back, but I bring in a new limb every year. It is just hammered. So I'd love to see whatever's kind of tore that. I'd at least get a visual, but there's 2 different bucks that have kind of frequent this. I've got a trail camera in here on kind of an edge. It doesn't catch everything by any means, so this is the type of day where you'd see them seeking out here, hopefully, but highs in the 50s, so I think it's still cool enough. They should be on their feet. Yesterday they were pretty good, so just trying something a little bit different here, but this is a setup I had some luck in several years back, but I just don't hunt it enough, but we'll see. Hopefully we get a cruiser here. Well, it's a little It's the second buck, I think, unless it was a doe. I thought I saw a headgear on the first one, but saw a deer slipping in there and wasn't sure, so I grunted and just kind of hit the can a few times and grunted again. Look back, and here comes, there's a buck, and he's on the perfect side of that descent check, that whole thing. Looked like a decent 8 or 9. That's, I think, a sticker on one side, but kind of a white rack buck. Cool encounter. Looked like a good looking 3-year-old, I think, but anyway. Hopefully we get some side cruising here too, but that's kind of a, even if they're scent checking that bedding area, I should be able to call them, hopefully this way. It's a little hybrid. Try not to sweat. So, put my bow rope on, take one last stick. I'm hoping to get up there nice and quiet. Hunting everything on basically the east side of this, get the strong wind, but there is a pretty good trail right on the bottom. Be a tough angle, but we'll worry about that if it comes to it. It's about 1:30 and I'm up here in this hybrid saddle, and it's a pretty sweet setup. It's November 7th, a little bit warmer, but they're gonna cruise in this. This is what I should have done yesterday instead of making a bold move. I'm actually kind of a little bit what you call out of the game a touch, but it's actually just one real long corridor away from, really a chase. They were chasing in here the other day when I was in here, where I jumped the big one yesterday. They can easily spin, kind of use this creek and then tie it all together. So yeah, you just gotta hunt in here and around these areas. I mean, I really do suspect he's bedded right in here, probably within a couple hundred yards. So if he gets her up, or if he gets between, or looking for a doe and cruising, I like this. The only thing I don't like is if he comes right on the edge, I might really stand up and kind of just shoot more vertical. But this hybrid saddle's pretty slick though. Check this out. You just basically sit like a rocking chair. Once you're in, it's pretty comfy, but I feel good. I'm set up for a lefty for a little shot right here. Got a bunch of merchant trails down here. It's a spot I've always seen. I think I might leave some sticks here just to be able to hunt it throughout the season if I need to. Good riddance. I'm pretty sure I could have probably shot 3 or 4 coyotes easily in the past couple days. Things are thick. And I'm glad he's going that way. Not messing up the honeymoon. little sling blade I did not want to see. I heard a grunt up there. I was like, man, I know I heard it, so I got ready. Looking up ahead. Next thing I know, I hear grass, and there's a lay point. That's the wildest deal, because they met up in a perfect spot if it just would have been him. I feel like I'm right in his wheelhouse, though. He must be close. I think those are just, satellite bucks from there. I just saw a doe running with her tail up like she's getting chased. That young buck heading that way. I don't know where he went. Sling blade's back behind me somewhere. The wind's dying. I'm gonna try to slip out of here quietly. Probably leave the sticks tonight. Can't make this up. November 9th. Derailed my bow. I'm scrambling. I'm heading back home. I got, to top it off, my sight came off. I got the bow back in order. Everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer here. Well, what a fiasco. November 9th. Never remember a day where I was happy to get back into the tree by 8:30, but I did it. So this morning was one of those days I'll try as a bow hunter. And as I was pulling my bow rope up, it got hung up. And instead of getting down like I should have, I kind of forced it while I get it up here. And my actual clip over the bow rope was wrapped around and derailed my cable. Luckily, I, went ahead and could see that I could roll it on there. I don't recommend it, but I thought that's what I needed to do. Rolled and snapped it right back in there. Not a big deal. Well, then my rest fell off. I've learned from elk hunting and other things. Those are the type of things that'll make you throw in the towel. But I raced home, got a new rest on because I found out that it was cracked from being over tight. I'm always kind of tinkering with making sure we're good. It's just stuff happens. So today is the day, though. The 9th of November is one of my favorites now. It's a day this buck I'm after daylighted. So daylighted last year, almost great. I'm hoping I'll do it again today. Passed up a really good buck the other day, but knowing this buck's in here, I think he's the one I'm after. So should be a good day. Well, it's about 1 o'clock, and the wind's getting after it. Haven't seen anything yet. Yeah, just making kind of surprising. I really think that means they're going to be moving good this afternoon. Things are drying out, obviously, but I think they were maybe laid up. Of course, I missed that main movement time frame, so I'm sure there's movement through here to take advantage of this wind blowing as I crunch on this apple and kind of save little snacks for different increments throughout the day. He's got to be here. I feel like he can slip through. I keep keeping an eye on him, man. I just picture him coming through here, so we'll see. Hopefully the afternoon picks up. It's Sunday morning, November 10th. It's nice and chilly, but not cold by any means. So got a perfect west wind here. Kind of the rut of rare winds. We don't get a lot of straight west, and we've had a ton of straight east this year, but that's what I need for this set. So yesterday was an absolute nightmare, and so after all of that, really getting skunked, kind of put the deflator on me, but that's how this thing can be. So I think there may be locked down. There's not very many does in here, so if they had one in, I could have just been out of the game. So you just got to be in the game. That's the difference. It's either feast or famine this time of year. So catch them in between one. This corridor's perfect for that. They've been hammering the scrapes down here, so they'll get back on those and checking them. This west wind sets up perfect for them to be sent checking this bedding area. So I'm gonna get back to kind of ready here, and hopefully it's good morning.
Meh. 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 Oh my gosh. This camera arm's twisted all up. That was incredible. Those 4 does. Oh my goodness. Those 4 does actually started out to my north. I don't know what kind of footage that's gonna be, but I couldn't believe it. Had a small buck cruise through here, and he was just croaking, grunting so loud. I don't know if I got any of that audio on there. This guy was too. I couldn't believe it because these does came back around and looked like some little yearlings and really 1 mature doe, but 4 total. They came around, and this west wind is great, but man, they were acting like they were going to bed or kind of slip around here behind me, and sure enough, he comes out. And he can't find him. He's going to go south. And I hit the grunt call a couple times, and he turned, and actually that got him to see those does. They were hiding right here. And when he come through, I mean, I had to get up. My camera's not the best for this tree in general. I need to switch it up anyway, but this is the tunnel. And actually, this spot has gotten better. I've hunted it probably 5 or 6 years, but the more I get these scrape line setups, the better it gets. And a couple of these bucks, are getting to that age class from when you first get them started on those scrapes. And dang it, I was gonna let him go, and kind of get to those scrapes. Not the best idea, because he took off after that doe, and I had to stop him in that last little gap. I think I made a good shot, though. Yes. Sunday morning, praise the Lord, man. Make it to mass too. But I think I hit him pretty good. We'll have to see if I got that shot on film. I really don't know. This thing was falling. It was twisting around. This locust is really tough for getting his teeth dove into. What a beautiful morning, man. The more I look at this is actually it was kind of risky, as tight as they were. These does were right back here, and where these cedars are cut. I actually cut those because it really blocked this lane on this, what I call the tunnel. And that actually worked out perfect, because before you wouldn't have got a shot through there. But not that I shot through there anyway. He got them does all split up in there. But I didn't hear him go down. I'm gonna watch it, like I said, watch his shot back and see. But man, just kind of enjoying the morning. Got some coffee right here. Getting old, I kind of enjoy those moments a little bit. Just being out here, whether you get one or not. He was one I kind of set my sights on, so it was kind of tough, like I said yesterday. Sat all day and blanked. So you just know it can turn on and off just like that. It's the beauty of the rut. He was on this scrape. I think it was November 4th, and I was here the 5th. I don't think he was one to work him today so much. He had other things in mind. I'm gonna go ahead and doctor it up though while I'm here. I'm just gonna pick up my arrow and back out, and we'll go get Lane. I'm struggling to find it. It's right, I could see his kick marks. Then his shot clear through. Look at this. Stuck in that tree. He probably is stuck in a rut. Oh yeah. Looks good though.
Got some good help. You could pull him out of the stand. Oh wait, did you hunt this one?
Shot him right here. That's right. Kick mark is right here on the ground.
there's a tree down there I can even shred with you, I think. Well, here he is, November 10th. Didn't disappoint. It was quite the slow day yesterday, and all kinds of chaos. So that's the things you can go through that I've learned over the years. You just got to roll with it. You could let yourself get down, give up, but it was dead in here. And I thought there might be a chance that they had one locked down, and I don't know. Still don't know that for sure, but it sure felt like it yesterday. You can be in it or completely out of it, and that's what it was yesterday all day. Well, partially all day. I had to go home, find that new rest, put it on, shoot. And it's just stuff that you wouldn't typically think or expect, but that's what you got to know, the unknown. And so keeping that mental toughness got us through it, and today was completely different. It was awesome. Once I saw the group of does, I thought, man, this could be good. And here comes small buck cruising. This guy came in and put on a show. Actually, I had to call him back. It was cool just to grunt him. I thought I was going to have to snort wheeze him, and I did a little bit, but then I saw him start turning, so I kind of let off it. I didn't want to get too crazy with it, but he found those does and made a shot on him. I thought the shot was a little bit better. His touch maybe a touch back, but he was quartered away so sharp. I kind of wanted it back a little bit, but I bet he went 125, 150. Had us a little nervous with the blood trail, but I think he was still on that doe. I think he ran her all the way and just didn't even know it. So just blessed. Beautiful day. Laying out here helping. Got to get him in a tree now. So just get out there. It's the time of year. Have fun with it. This guy had shed from him last year, and he kind of cleaned it up. Called him Optimus Prime. I love my Prime bows, and he changed it up. He was a 9-point on this side last year. He's got so much character and points in the back. It's hard to beat all that, but just a great day to be a bow hunter.